Welcome back, everybody. Dr. Peter Glidden here with you today on Tuesday in July 2012. 2012, how about that? Can't wait till December. Talking to you about everything having to do with holistic health, science-based, clinically verified alternatives to drugs and surgery, because drugs and surgery are the leading cause of death in the United States, and when it comes to chronic illness, and they don't work. Drugs and surgery do not work in the treatment of chronic disease. I was just at the Department of Motor Vehicles. Believe it or not, I had to get a duplicate license, driver's license. And, you know, I'm sitting in the place for about 45 minutes to an hour and surrounded by probably 150 people, all of whom were the most unhealthy-looking people I've ever seen. Everybody had something wrong with them, and by everybody, I mean everybody. 70% of the people there were overweight. People were on crutches. People had all kinds of liver spots on their body. People are walking hunched over. Everybody's got white hair. Everybody's overweight. It's a problem, man. Even the young kids, there were 3-4 young kids there. They didn't look that healthy to me either. Their skin had not a healthy tone to it, not a healthy color to it. We're going straight to hell in a handbasket here in the United States because nobody is teaching anybody which foods are healthy to eat. That's because nobody knows which foods are healthy to eat except myself and a handful of my colleagues. Everybody is eating the wrong foods all of the time. They're eating the wrong foods all of the time. And then when something in their body breaks, they go to the only person that their insurance pays for, the MD. The MD throws a prescription medication at the problem, and the prescription medication can't fix the problem. The problem being not enough nutrition. If you had rickets, that's a vitamin D like David deficiency. You can't fix rickets with a prescription medication. If you had scurvy, it's a vitamin C deficiency. You can't fix scurvy with prescription medication. If you had iron deficient anemia, that's an iron deficiency problem. If you had pernicious anemia, that's a vitamin B12 problem. You need vitamins to fix those problems. But nobody knows this, and because nobody knows this, clinically anyway, everybody in this country is dying, everybody is sick, and everybody's life is just out of control when it comes to health. It's really just crazy. Now, let me give you a heads up on this, right? Let's back up a couple of steps and just take a look from a greater perspective about what's going on here, because there's a reason for everything. Medical doctors, MDs are educated in a philosophy of science called reductionism. Now, reductionism draws its inspiration from the physics of Sir Isaac Newton. And to a reductionist, all of the workings of the world that we live in boil down to individual measurable units. If it can't be measured, it doesn't exist. Because no one has ever dissected the soul out of a living person, to the MD, the soul does not exist. Likewise, because no MRI, CT scan, or ultrasound has yet to reveal it, the MD does not believe in the wisdom of the body. One of the most overlooked and interesting notions that MDs subscribe to is the false belief that the human body does not know how to fix itself. This is the fundamental philosophical ground that all of the MD's medical treatments are built upon, and it is a castle made of sand. Because MDs do not believe that the human body can heal itself, when someone is sick, the MDs march in with synthetic drugs which overpower and control the natural workings of the human body. MDs are like communist dictatorships. The communist dictatorship's job is to control everything about the society. Well, the MD's job is to control everything about human metabolism. For example, when bones become thin and osteoporosis sets in, instead of delivering to the patient the nutrients that person's body needs to make its bones healthy and strong, MDs prescribe synthetic profit-generating drugs called bisphosphonates, like Fosamax and Boniva. These drugs work by overpowering and suppressing the action of the cells of the body that are responsible for chewing up old bone. Guess what happens when you do this? Old bone builds up in the skeleton. Old bone makes the DEXA bone density test look better, but after a few years, all of the old bone that drug made pile up in your skeleton starts to snap like dry tinder, taking the trusting patient from the veritable frying pan directly into the fire. And this unbelievably poor treatment outcome is not limited to osteoporosis. It's similar ridiculous treatment strategies are delivered across the board by MDs for all chronic health conditions. But the average person on the street doesn't know this. You actually have been lulled into the notion that my doctor knows what's best for me. Well, guess what? They don't. Your doctor only knows what your doctor has been trained in, and when it comes to medical science, your doctor has been trained in one very eeny-weeny, teeny, chilly-beany aspect of medical science. As a matter of fact, I can make the argument, and quite frankly, I do 5 days a week, that going to the last person you want to go to for health advice, if you're suffering with a chronic disease, is an MD. For goodness sake, their profession is the leading cause of death in the United States. And the ridiculous treatment strategies that were developed by MDs were developed because, being reductionists, they believe that they are smarter than nature, smarter than God, and smarter than the wisdom of the body, which to them is a fallacy. This dogmatic desire of MDs to dominate and control the function of the human body shows up in the majority of their treatments for chronic disease, right? Think about it. Antidepressants, synthetic hormones, pacemakers, false joints, lap bands around the stomach, gastric bypass, nerve ablation, hysterectomy, bronchodilators, blood pressure medicine, blood thinning agents, that's rat poison, cholesterol lowering agents. All of these treatments are designed to overpower and control the innate workings of the human body, because MDs believe that they are smarter than God and that the human body is just a biochemical soup, a biological accident, and as such has no innate wisdom nor any ability to self-regulate and heal itself. What's more, even though hundreds of thousands of patients a year suffer and die from these ridiculous treatment strategies, we give the MDs who prescribe them a pass. Even though thousands of new lawsuits are filed each year against the companies who make the drugs that hurt us, nobody goes to jail. And we actually find ourselves scanning the newspaper, scanning the headline news, looking forward to the next big medical breakthrough. We are so far down the rabbit hole of our common sense belief that healing is complicated and should only be attempted by an MD, that even when our MD fails us, even when our MD hurts us, even when our MD kills us, we refuse to give up our death grip grasp on the medical insurance that we unhesitatingly purchase every month. And to add insult to injury, the very next time that we get sick, we march right back to the MD's office. And then we beg the government to give us more affordable access to their dangerous and ineffective treatments. You know, that's Obamacare, subsidized mandatory medical insurance. We ought to have our heads examined. The simple truth of the matter here, ladies and gentlemen, is that healing from a chronic illness is easy. When you cut your hand, do you have to direct your immune system to increase macrophage response time or tell your body when it's time to lay down fibrinogen to help the wound heal? No. Most of you don't even know what those things are. But you don't have to, because guess what? Your body will fix it all by itself. When you eat a sandwich, a gluten-free sandwich with no processed meats and no mayonnaise, do you have to tell your stomach how to digest it and your intestinal tract how to move it along? No. Your body did it all by itself. Your body is so smart, it grew itself all by itself from a single-celled organism. And this is why healing is easy. Because your body knows how to fix itself. For goodness sake, your body wants to fix itself. The only thing necessary most of the time to facilitate the healing of a chronic illness from a chronic illness is to stop eating the food that's hurting the body and start giving the body the nutrients, the raw materials that it needs to fix itself. It's not any different than gardening. For goodness sakes. You're going to fertilize your flowers. You're going to fertilize your tomatoes. You're going to make sure you water them every day. You're going to make sure they get good sunlight. Well, if we only did the same thing to the human body, there would be no chronic disease in this country. There wouldn't be. Because all chronic disease, from our point of view, is caused by chronic nutrient deficiencies, which have then been exaggerated and exacerbated by consistent daily consumption of all the wrong foods. And then, in order to hide their poor treatment outcomes, the cowardly MDs, these people who have no pride, these people who have no ability to self-police themselves, these people blame the patient. Oh, it's not the doctor's fault, it's the patient's fault. It's got to be genetic, right? You're overweight because you have a bad gene. Your knees went south because you have a bad gene. You have type 2 diabetes or heart disease because you have a bad gene. Baloney. The only reason you're suffering from a chronic disease is because you have a bad doctor. Period. Fire your MD. Fire your MD now. And tell everybody in your family to do the same. Do not give these people any more of your hard-earned money. It is a fool's errand. Call me instead. 866-582-9933. 866-582-9933. Everybody in this country is under-nutrified for no fault of their own. Yeah, the nutrients that your body needs to maintain its health are not in the food, period. Everybody's running on fumes, but you've gotten used to running on fumes. Your body can handle a great deal of stress. The average age of death of a homeless, alcoholic, street person, 47 years of age. Your body can make it to 47 because there's a little bit of nutrition in the red wine, there's a little bit of nutrition in the Colt 45, there's a little bit of nutrition in the Ripple, and the Wonder Bread you're stealing from the pigeons. You can make it to 47. The average age of death of an MD with general family practice is about 55 years of age. So why would you go to those people for advice? But I digress. Your body can handle a great deal of nonsense and survive. You can get used to mediocrity. You can get used to physiological mediocrity. Everybody is used to it, quite frankly. So what are you going to do? You're going to switch it up. You're going to trust Dr. Glidden. You're going to trust Dr. Wallach. You're going to trust $25 million of federally funded research and over 50 combined decades of clinical experience by licensed, trained naturopathic physicians. We're the only people in the world who have a clue about science-based, clinically verified, real, effective medical nutrition. Everybody gets one Healthy Start Pack. Just purchase one Healthy Start Pack. One Healthy Start Pack. It's $112 at the wholesale price. You can just go right to fireyourmdnow.com and purchase one right now. Here's how I want you to take it. 1 scoop of the Beyond Tangy Tangerine in 8 ounces of water per 50 pounds of body weight per day. 1 scoop of the Beyond Tangy Tangerine in 8 ounces of water per 50 pounds of body weight per day. So if you're 200 pounds, you do 4 scoops a day. The next thing in the Healthy Start Pack is the white liquid calcium. That's dosed at 1 tablespoon per 50 pounds of body weight per day. 1 tablespoon. Put it in a little orange juice. If you don't like orange juice, put it in a little bit of water. 2-3 ounces of water. Swallow it down. 1 tablespoon per 50 pounds of body weight per day. And the last thing is the essential fatty acids. Just take 3 a day to start with. Take 3 a day. 3 essential fatty acids to start with. Actually, if you're more than 200 pounds, take 6. All right? 3 per 100 pounds of body weight per day. Let's make it easier. How about 2 per 50 pounds of body weight per day? That's a better dosage. 2 of the EFA Plus per 50 pounds of body weight per day. That's it. Take the Beyond Tangy Tangerine, the Osteo FX Plus, and the essential fatty acids every day. Do that for just 2 weeks, 14 days. And if you don't realize a noticeable change in something, your mood, your energy, your sleep, your appetite, whatever it is, I'll eat my darn hat. You cannot starve a human body for decades and then all of a sudden give it nutrients and have nothing happen. Now is $112, too far outside your comfort zone? I don't think so. You'll buy your teenage son $250 sneakers. You'll buy your sweetheart $1,000 of golf clubs. You'll buy someone for Christmas a $700 snowboard. So spend $112 on yourself. But if you can't, and in this economy, I can understand how it would be possible that you couldn't afford that, because I've been there too. Instead of the Healthy Start Pack, get 1 bottle of the plant-derived minerals. 1 bottle, it's $19. It's called plant-derived minerals. I want you to take 1 ounce of that stuff twice a day in a little bit of juice, put it in your smoothie, put it in water, put it in something, because it has a very astringent taste if you just take it right out of the bottle. I take it right out of the bottle. Dr. Wallach says, that's the best way to do it. You don't have to do it that way, though. Take 1 ounce of the plant-derived minerals twice a day for 14 days and watch your body change. The proof of the pudding's in the eating, ladies and gentlemen. Results are what drives my profession forward. Results are what has driven the longevity profession forward to an 1,100% increase in sales in the last 12 months in this economy. You're not going to believe how you feel, and when it comes to your health, you don't know what you're missing. Started off today with Cleveland. Cleveland, you are live with Dr. Glidden. Welcome back.
Hello, how you doing, Dr. Glidden?
Pretty good. What's on your mind today, Cleveland?
Wonderful. I signed up a pastor of a church. He's 79 years of age. He wants to keep playing golf. He believes in you, and he believes in Dr. Wallach because I've been letting him use the CDs, and he believes in nutrition. He's trying the products because he said he's going to bring the church on and introduce it to others if it works for him. I got him on the Healthy Bone and Joint Pack, but I'm just calling to see if you recommend anything other than in addition to the Healthy Bone and Joint Pack.
All right, good man. So the most important thing here is that people are taking the stuff appropriate for their body weight. That's a relatively important consideration. So if he's 200 pounds, he needs 2 Healthy Bone and Joint Packs per month, right? 1 isn't going to cut it. That's, if you had a sinus infection and you went to a medical doctor, you went to the doc in the box down the street, and they told you to take 30 milligrams of an antibiotic twice a day. Well, if you took 15 milligrams of that antibiotic twice a day, it wouldn't work. Does that mean antibiotics don't work? No, it means you just didn't take enough. So the most important thing here, the Healthy Bone and Joint Pack is a really great place to start as long as you have the dosage dialed in. And, the dosage here is 1 of those per 100 pounds of body weight per month. Now, to round that out, it would be prudent to calculate extra glucogel capsules for this guy because, arthritis is our secret sauce to support and promote the health of joints is the glucogel capsules because that has all the raw materials that the joints need. So the correct dosage, therapeutic dosage for that is 1 glucogel capsule, 1 capsule per 10 pounds of body weight per day. So divide his total body weight by 10 and give him that many glucogel capsules a day. So let's say he's 210 pounds. 210 divided by 10 would be 21. He would need 21 glucogel a day. It sounds like a lot, but it's not really. That's 7 with breakfast, 7 with lunch, 7 with dinner. It's easy. So, I would see how many glucogel he's got right now, capsules, and figure out if that's enough to meet that particular dosage. The only other thing that you could give him, if money's not an issue, to accelerate recovery here would be, in addition to the correct amount of glucogel and the Healthy Bone and Joint Pack per 100 pounds of body weight, would be one additional bottle of either the Cherry Mints or the plant-derived minerals per 100 pounds of body weight per month. Because, you know, what we do here is we give the boilerplate 90 essential nutrients and then extra stuff for the joints, extra stuff for the kidneys, extra stuff for the heart, whatever. So joints and bones need minerals. And so it's entirely prudent as a therapeutic slam dunk to give extra plant minerals for a couple of months. That will really accelerate healing. And the last thing I want to tell you in this regard, Cleveland, is the last thing that anybody wants to hear. And I got to tell you, man, especially members of the African American community in the U.S., you folks have got it bad because you've been brainwashed by hundreds of years of cultural conditioning with fried food. That is the worst thing that anybody can eat. I don't care if you're black, red, pink, purple, or blue. Fried food is bad. And the more of it that you eat, the worse your health is going to get. So one way to really optimize healing here is to make sure that everybody, whether they're a pastor, whether they're a lay person, whether they're a priest, whether they're a policeman, it doesn't matter. Everybody has to be on the good food, bad food diet. And when somebody has stopped eating gluten, they've stopped eating fried food and, you know, the other 5 bad foods, that all by itself is really going to accelerate the healing. So make sure he's got the diet dialed in, hook him up with those supplements, and he should start to feel better every 14 days. All right. Thanks so much for the call, Cleveland. Keep up the good work down there. Next, let me see who's up. Gail, I think, is calling with a puppy question. Hello, Gail. You're live with Dr. Glidden.
Hi. I have a 2-week-old little Rottweiler puppy I inherited. His mother died, and I'm having trouble getting it to go to the bathroom. And I take the Healthy Shark Pack. Is there anything in that I could put in its formula to make it a little healthier?
Well, what's better, longevity, of course, was founded by Dr. Joel Wallach, and Dr. Joel Wallach, for decades, was the leading veterinarian research pathologist in the United States. He developed a formula specifically for pets. It's called Arthrodex, and it's a longevity product. So just go into the longevity catalog and find the Arthrodex and get a bottle of it.
Is there anything I could put in like right now until I get that?
Yeah, I would give him the white liquid calcium. And that's dosed 1 tablespoon per 50 pounds. How much does this dog weigh?
He's only 2 weeks old. He weighs like 5 ounces, 6 ounces.
Oh, yeah, right. So I would give him, how much would I give him? I'd give him a teaspoon of the white liquid calcium every day. 1 teaspoon of the white liquid calcium every day. That's what I would do. And if he's this teeny, when you start him on the Arthrodex, and the Arthrodex, by the way, is dosed based on his body weight. There's a little chart right there on the label. He's going to grow into a really healthy dog. By the way, Dr. Wallach's research that's now in the Smithsonian tripled the lifespan of the average household dog. So when we give dogs good nutrition from start to finish, their health is increased, their lifespan is increased, and life is good. And, you know, you'll hear about all these dogs now, especially the larger breeds like Great Danes and Irish Wolfhounds, getting hip dysplasia, right? And they say, oh, it's genetic. It's nonsense. It's not genetic. The only reason those dogs' hips go is the only reason your hips go is because the dog's hips run out of nutrients that they need to stay healthy the same way that yours did. There's nothing magic about dog food. Although dog food does have more nutrients than human food, dogs actually do eat better. But unless it's Dr. Wallach's recipe, the dog is going to be missing essential nutrients, and it's only a matter of time before those chickens come home to roost. So in the meantime, give him a little bit of the OsteoFX Plus, and get the Arthrodex, get him right on that. You're going to have a fantastically healthy dog if you start that right now. Thank you so much for calling. Up next, I believe, is Carl with a question about diabetes. Carl, thanks for calling. You're live with Dr. Glidden.
Thank you, Doctor. How the heck are you today?
Pretty good. How's it going? Where are you calling from anyway, Carl?
I'm calling from the Four Corner region in Colorado.
Oh, very nice. Are the fires all out down there?
Yeah, they're pretty much. We've been getting some rain here the past week, so the monsoons and stuff finally come in, so it's nice.
Yeah, okay, good. Well, thanks for calling. What's on your mind?
Okay, well, I'm going to try to get through this because I got all kinds of stuff in front of me. I'm 61 years old. I'm 180 pounds. I'm in extremely good shape. I'm on Tangy Tangerine, Osteo FX, Glucogel, EFA Plus, and I've come to realize that I might be in the early stages of diabetes because when I work out, do you have a computer in front of you?
Of course.
Okay, well, if you go to facebook.com/L120Y, you'll get a picture of what I look like. Anyway, so I'm going on the food protocol of your diet. It's on the good food bad list. I've been on it for a week, and I'm waiting for my sweeties to come in, and I'm waiting for the plant-derived mineral to come in. That should be in any day. My question, I understand that I love juicing vegetables. I've gotten off the juicing and I've cooked, and I'm wondering, am I good with using a concentrate protein whey? And some of the other products that I've been using is like I use glutamine, I use creatine, and I've been using what you call a pre-workout formula. It's called NO Explode.
Yeah.
Did you see my picture yet?
Yeah. So here, I've got some advice for you, and I'm really glad that you called. So let me dial this in for you, because it's important to understand, and very few people get this, okay? So if you think you're Superman now, 6 months from now, you're going to take it to a whole different level, because you're going to start to get healthy internally as well as looking awesome externally, right? And that's really where it's at. So, all right, very good. So here's the deal. Protein and omega-6 are what the body needs to repair and regenerate tissue. Protein and omega-6. Now, most standard American diets are very, very high in omega-6, so you don't really need to worry about that. But if you're a workout maniac, then it's important to continue the supplementation with the EFAs. And what I would do in order to support an aggressive workout schedule with the EFAs is I would do 3 EFAs per 50 pounds of body weight per day. That's what I would do. 3 of the EFA plus per 50 pounds of body weight per day. The hydrolyzed whey powder is great. It's a great form of extremely absorbable protein. Any absorbable protein, especially if it's pre-digested, is a fantastic addition to your diet, but don't overlook the obvious. The chicken egg, the lowly chicken egg, is the protein standard that all other proteins are compared to, and it's loaded with cholesterol. So it's kind of a 2-for-1. It's cheap, it's easy to do, it's tasty. You know, if you want to just put a couple of raw eggs in with your stuff every morning, you can do that. You want to scramble them up in butter with some salt, maybe some cayenne pepper, even better. Don't overlook the obvious. The chicken egg is a fantastic supplement here. Everything that you're doing is great. You don't need to stop juicing the vegetables. You can continue to do that. The only thing you need to be kind of on the lookout here with kind of a system that's on the edge of a blood sugar problem is if you're waking up in the middle of the night and you're wide awake, then you have to cut down your carbohydrate intake with dinner. If you're not waking up in the middle of the night, you're sleeping through the night, then you don't have to worry about that. I take the Sweeties every day as a preventive. So does Dr. Wallach. It's a really smart idea. I think you're doing a fantastic program. The only other thing that I would add to it is the Rebound FX while you're working out instead of Gatorade or vitamin water or any of this other stuff. You're going to love how you feel when you take that Rebound FX. Looks like we have Vivian on the line with a question about sickle cell anemia. Vivian, you are live with Dr. Glidden. Thanks for calling. Hello, Vivian.
Hello, Vivian.
Hello, Vivian. How's it going?
Oh, it always could be better, praise God, but I thank God for being alive.
Okay, I'm with you there 100%. Thanks for calling. How can I help?
Now, I have a little granddaughter, and she will be 6 years old this year, and she has sickle cell.
Yeah.
And I would like to know what can help her to get rid of it. That's what I wanted to know.
Well, you need to stop going to, cancel your medical insurance and stop taking this child to MDs because they have nothing for her. We've actually done a tremendous amount of work with the sickle cell population in and around Atlanta, Georgia for the last 30 years, and we're having remarkable results with that population. Because from our point of view, the red blood cells, the membrane of the red blood cell starts to lose its structural integrity, and this is what causes the cell to become sickle-shaped. And when the cell is sickle-shaped, all kinds of funky things happen. So what we do here is what we do for everything. We don't have a specific treatment for sickle cell anemia. We don't have a specific treatment for anything. But what we do is we have treatments for people who have sickle cell anemia. We have treatments for people who have type 2 diabetes. And I know that sounds like a funny distinction, but it's true. It's God that's going to fix this problem. It's the built-in ability of the body to regulate its health. This is a God-given ability that's going to fix this problem or any other problem if it's possible to fix. So what we're going to do for this child is what we do for everybody. We're going to clean up the kid's diet, and we're going to provide the 91 essential nutrients appropriate for body weight, plus a little extra selenium, plus a little extra antioxidants. So, are you familiar? Do you use the internet at all, Vivian?
No, matter of fact, we do not have internet.
You do not?
No, we don't. We just have one at the library or something like that.
All right, I want you to take this number down. You ready?
All right, I will.
Okay. 855. That's 855-347-3696. That's 855-347-3696. Give that number a call and tell the folks who answer it you would like one anti-aging healthy start pack and 2 bottles of selenium. One anti-aging healthy start pack and 2 bottles of selenium. That is an excellent place to start for this condition. Also give them your address and we will mail you a copy of the bad food list. So these are foods that you and this child and everybody else in your community needs to stop eating. So we'll mail you that for free, and we'll also tell you how much the supplements cost, and we'll help you figure out how you can get them at the wholesale price. That number, one more time, 855-347-3696. Does that sound good?
Yes, I have that. And call this number, you say?
And call that number and tell them you want one anti-aging healthy start pack. Anti-aging healthy start pack. And 2 bottles of Ultimate Selenium. 2 bottles of Ultimate Selenium. One anti-aging healthy start pack and 2 bottles of Ultimate Selenium plus Dr. Glidden's Good Food, Bad Food Diet. Thank you so much for calling, Vivian. We are all out of time. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Dr. Peter Glidden. Thank you for tuning in. Now, I have a request here. If you like the show, tell your friends about it. You can listen to this show 24/7 after it's broadcast just by going to the website and clicking on the podcast link. You can listen to this show at your heart's content. So spread the news. We're spreading the news about health recovery through medical nutrition as far and as wide and as fast as humanly possible. I'm Dr. Peter Glidden, your friendly neighborhood naturopath. I'll see you tomorrow, same bat time, same bat channel. Dr. Glidden, over and out.